Today we are going to start with the Course in Miracle lessons 135. If I defend myself, I am attacked. I believe this is the longest lesson. I'm not quite sure. But there is something about the defending that I know is a long lesson. So let's find out. Who would defend himself unless he thought he was attacked? That the attack was real, and that his own defense could save himself. And herein lies the folly of defense. It gives illusions full reality and then attempts to handle them as real. It adds illusions to illusions, thus making correction doubly difficult. And I believe we all have experienced that. If you are truly in this path seeking, you can see, feel, experience the illusion. You can see, feel, experience how much the ego has made it so difficult to correct also. So it's all in the experience. And when I say ego and things like that, don't take it that it's a bad thing. It's not. That's our learning device, our learning mechanism here. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing because we are learning. So that anything that helps you learn, grow, is a good thing. And it is this you do when you attempt to plan the future, activate the past, or organize the present as you wish. You operate from the belief you must protect yourself from what is happening because it must contain what threatens you. A sense of threat is an acknowledgment of an inherent weakness, a belief that there is danger which has power to call on you to make appropriate defense. The world is based on this insane belief, and all its structures, all its thoughts and doubts, its penalties and heavy armaments, its legal definitions and its codes, its ethics and its leaders and its gods, all serve but to preserve its sense of threat. For no one walks the world in armature but must have terror striking at his heart. Defense is frightening. It stems from fear, increasing fear as each defense is made. You think it offers safety, yet it speaks of fear made real and terror justified. Is it not strange you do not pause to ask as you elaborate your plans and make your armor thicker and your locks more tight, what you defend and how and against what? Let us consider first what you defend. It must be something that is very weak and easily assaulted. It must be something made easy prey, unable to protect itself and needing any defense. What but the body has such frailty that constant care and watchful, deep concern are needful to protect its little life. What but the body falters and must fail to serve the Son of God as worthy host. Yet it is not the body that can fear, nor be a thing to fear. It has no needs, but those which you assign to it. It needs no complicated structures of defense, no health-inducing medicine, no care and no concern at all. Defend its life or give it gifts to make it beautiful or walls to make it safe. And you but say your home is open to the thief of time, corruptible and crumbling, so unsafe it must be guarded with your every life. Is not this picture fearful? Can you be at peace with the concept of your home? Yet what endowed the body with the right to serve you, thus accept your own belief. It is your mind which gave the body all the functions that you see in it and see its value far beyond a little pile of dust and water. Who would make defense of something that he recognized as this? The body is in need of no defense. This cannot be too often emphasized. It will be strong and healthy if the mind does not abuse it by assigning it to roles it cannot fill, to purposes beyond its scope, and to exalted aims which it cannot accomplish. Such attempts, ridiculous yet deeply cherished, are the sources for many mad attacks you make upon it. For it seems to fail your hopes, your needs, your values, and your dreams. The self, little s, that needs protection is not real. The body, valueless and hardly worth the least defense, need merely be perceived as quite apart from you, and it becomes a healthy, serviceable instrument through which the mind can operate until its usefulness is over. Who would want to keep it when its usefulness is done? Defend the body, and you have attacked your mind, for you have seen in it the faults, the weaknesses, the limits, and the lacks from which you think the body must be freed. You will not see the mind as separate from bodily conditions, and you will impose upon the body all the pain that comes from the conception of the mind as limited and fragile, and apart from other minds and separate from its source. These are the thoughts in need of healing, and the body will respond with hell when they have been corrected and replaced with truth. This is the body's only real defense. Yet is this where you look for its defense? You offer a protection of a kind from which it gains no benefit at all, but merely adds to your distress of mind. You do not heal, but merely take away the hope of healing. For you fail to see where hope must lie if it be meaningful. A healed mind does not plan. It carries out the plans which it receives through listening to wisdom that is not its own. Let me read that again. A healed mind does not plan. It carries out the plans which it receives through listening to wisdom that is not its own. It waits until it has been taught what should be done and then proceeds to do it. It does not depend upon itself for anything except its adequacy to fulfill the plan assigned to it. It is secure in certainty that obstacles cannot impede its progress to accomplishment of any goal which serves the greater plan established for the good of everyone. A healed mind is relieved from the belief that it must plan, although it cannot know the outcome that it is best, the means by which it is achieved, or how to recognize the problem that the plan is made to solve. It must misuse the body in its plans until it recognizes this is so. But when it has accepted this is true, then it is healed and lets the body go. Enslavement of the body to the plans the unhealed mind sets up to save itself must make the body sick. I apologize. Let me read that again. Enslavement of the body to the plans that the unhealed mind sets up to save itself must make the body sick. It is not free to be a means of helping in a plan which far exceeds its own protection and which needs its service for a little while. In this capacity, its health is sure, for everything the mind employs for this will function flawlessly, and with the strength that has been given, it cannot fail. It is perhaps not easy to perceive that self-initiated plans are but defenses with the purpose all of them were made to realize. They are the means by which a frightened mind would undertake its own protection at the cost of truth. This is not difficult to realize in some forms which these self-deceptions take, for the denial of reality is very obvious. Yet planning is not often recognized as a defense. It's very true. In the world, if you ask the goals, the planning is not considered as a defense. I'm planning ahead for retirement. I'm planning ahead for tomorrow. I'm planning ahead for, I have to have X amount of money, and things like that. That's planning. Experience has taught me I don't plan anything ahead of time. I follow guidance. And it's beautiful. When you follow guidance, it's just beautiful. It's just a different way of living. The mind engaged in planning for itself is occupied in setting up control of future happiness. It does not think that will be provided for unless it makes its own provisions. Time becomes a future emphasis to be controlled by learning and experience obtained from past events. And before I move on, yes, I don't plan. I do follow guidance, but at the same time, it's not a bad thing to plan. For example, if you're traveling, obviously you want to plan. You want to know where you're going to go. You want to know, you want to pick the location where you're going to stay, what are you going to do. So planning is good. It's not that it is not. What this is talking about is the mankind, the way we plan stuff is like, I'm going to keep this so that I can have this for tomorrow. But that tomorrow is like today, isn't it? Like, do I have everything that I want for today? So that's a two different kinds of plans right there. Let me continue. Previous beliefs. This overlooks the present, for it rests on the idea that past has taught enough to let the mind direct its future course. The mind that plans is thus refusing to allow for change. What it has learned before becomes the basis for its future goals. Its past experience directs its choice for what will happen. And it does not see that here and now is everything it needs to guarantee a future quite unlike the past, without the continuity of any old ideas and sick beliefs. Anticipation plays no part at all, and present confidence directs the way. Let me read that again because I love that. The mind that plans is thus refusing to allow for change. What it has learned becomes the basis for its future goals. Its past experience directs its choice for what will happen. And it does not see that here and now is everything it needs to guarantee a future quite unlike the past, without any continuity of any old ideas and sick beliefs. Anticipation plays no part at all, and present confidence directs the way. Defenses are the plans you undertake to make against the truth. Their aim is to select what you approve and disregard what you consider incompatible with your beliefs of your reality. Yet what remains is meaningless indeed, for it is your reality which is the threat that your defenses could attack, obscure and take apart and crucify. What could you not accept if you but knew that everything that happens, all events, past, present, and to come, are gently planned by one whose only purpose is for your good? Perhaps you have misunderstood his plan, for he would never offer pain to you, but your defenses did not let you see his loving blessing shine in every step you ever took. While you made plans for death, he led you gently to eternal life. Your present trust in him is a defense which promises a future undisturbed without a trace of sorrow, and with joy which constantly increases as this life becomes a holy instant set in time, but heeding only immortality. Let no defenses but your present trust directs the future, and this life becomes a meaningful encounter with the truth that only your, let me move myself, defenses would conceal. Without defenses, you become a light which heaven gratefully acknowledges to be its own, and it will lead you on in ways appointed for your happiness according to the ancient plan begun when time was born. Your followers will join their light with yours, and it will be increased until the world is lighted up with joy, and gladly will your brothers lay aside and gladly will your brothers lay aside their cumbersome defenses, which availed them nothing and could not terrify. We will anticipate that time today with present confidence, for this is part of what is planned for you. We can be sure that everything we need is given us for our accomplishment of this today. We make no plans for how it will be done, but realize that our defenselessness is all that is required for the truth to drop on our minds with certainty. For 15 minutes twice today, we rest from senseless planning and from every thought which blocks the truth from entering our minds. Today, we will receive instead of plan that we may give instead of recognize, and we are given truly as we say, if I defend myself, I am attacked. But in defenselessness, I will be strong and I will learn what my defenses hide. Nothing but that. If there are plans to make, you will be told of them. They may not be plans you thought are needed, nor indeed the answers to the problems which you thought confronted you, but they are answers to another kind of question which remains unanswered, yet in need of answering until the answer comes to you at last. All your defenses have been aimed at not receiving what you will receive today. And in light and joy of simple truth, you will but wonder why you ever thought that you must be defended from release. Heaven asks nothing. It is hell that makes extravagant demands for sacrifice. You give up nothing in these times today, and undefended, you're present yourself to your Creator as you really are. He has remembered you. Today you will remember Him, for this is Easter time in your salvation, and you rise again from what was seeming death and hopelessness. Now is the light of hope reborn in you. For now you come without defense to learn the part of you within the plan of God. What little plans are magical beliefs can still have value when you have received your function from the voice of God Himself. Try not to shape the stairs you believe would benefit you most, for you cannot conceive of all the happiness that comes to you without your planning. Learn today, and all the world will take this giant stride and celebrate your Easter time with you. Throughout the day, as foolish little things appear to raise defensiveness in you and tempt you to engage in waving plans. Remind yourself that this is a special day for learning and acknowledge it with this. This is my Easter time, and I would keep it holy. I will not defend myself, because the Son of God needs no defense against the truth of His reality. So the footnote, to activate the past is to treat it as real, present, and relevant, even though it's really over and gone. It basically means to bring the past to life again. The mad attacks we take upon the body are mostly unconscious mental attacks upon which are the source of our physical illness. The cause sketched in the above paragraph is what the first we assign roles to the body that cannot feel, like making us feel happy, whole, and safe. And then when the body inwardly fails to fulfill these roles, we become angry with it and mentally attack it thus making it sick. This lesson is another of the workbook Giant Strides, lesson 61, footnote 75 for a list of other giant strides. So like I said, this is probably the longest lesson. The attack on the body, I want to say, just spend 1 second on that. You know, the biggest thing that we want on this planet, we all want to look trim and thin, and we follow all that stuff, and we all want to do that. And so when the example of how the body becomes sick, I would say, is when we don't lose that weight that we desired or something, and then we start saying, we look at that mirror and then we don't like ourselves, so mentally we are attacking. That's just came to me. It's one of the easiest examples that is over here. Mind you, I was reading all these things when I was completely very depressed and I was seeking for answers. Hope this lesson really means something to you. Keep practicing. It itself is a long lesson, but it's a beautiful lesson. But keep practicing, and in your practice, like, don't let anything hide from your mind. Bring it all out to the light. Let the light heal it. That's if you are seeking for true healing, let that be granted to you. With that, I will see you in the next lesson. Till then, I love you. Namaste.